Welcome to our practice today. No matter what we're doing, no matter where we are, always making those precious moments that are both healthy for the body and the mind and the heart. This is where we really get to disengage our grip on the outer world, whether we are enjoying the experience of the outer world or whether we are suffering at this moment in the outer world. We release those grips in an infinite amount of ways that allows us to not just heal and recharge, but actually to move into a really pure, neutral, mineral space, a hidden lake and a hidden range of mountains, pure and unsullied. That's what we re-become. So, gather your stuff and let's begin in Sukhasana. Greeting our practice with alertness, with open heart, with humble mind. Lifting the hands, pressing the palms together. Inhale. And the hands releasing. The eyelids opening, but the gaze is diffused. So we're looking out, but we're also looking in, and the eyeballs are moving backwards. And keeping this presence of recedingness coming to Yoga Mudrasana. So we may reach with the body, but we're not reaching with the face, with the brain in any way. The entire face, the eyeballs receding, the breath smooth and even as we try our hardest physically to maximize, to stretch, to open. And then coming back up and changing the cross of the ankles. Exhaling forward, elbows straight, Yoga Mudrasana. Keep trying to walk the hands forward, the face relaxed, the jaw relaxed. And then coming back up and releasing. So now placing the left leg underneath and bringing the right leg into Ardha Padmasana, or the best version of Ardha Padmasana that your legs and hips will allow you to. Of course, taking anything that you might need to support the knees and coming in with Yoga Mudrasana. Move the face back, relax the brain, entering with the exhalation. And then walking the hands back in and changing sides. Right leg underneath and bringing the left leg up into the best version of Padmasana that your feet, your ankles and knees, hips can take, and then entering with the exhalation out of the brain and really with the exhale traveling through the entire inner body, feeling, breathing, observing. And then the hands coming back up and releasing. Coming to a crouching pose. We're trying to press the heels down. They may lift up at first. You can keep the fingertips on the floor for now and see if you could press the heels down. And if you can't, you'll still be feeling a stretch there in the back of the calf, the Achilles tendon. And see if you might be able to hold onto the upper arms, pressing down. And then bringing the hands forward, spreading the palms, spreading the fingers, and coming into Adho Mukha Svanasana with the heels lifted. Keep pushing yourselves away from the heels of the hands, the weight of the pose moving back. And then looking up and walking the feet forward so the knees are bent. Keeping the feet parallel, the knees bent, hold onto the backs of the heels. Inhale, and with your exhalation, extend the legs and draw the knees up, the quadriceps up, fusing the strength of the legs, lifting the femurs into those hip sockets. And then lifting ourselves back up and stepping the feet together. Roll the shoulders back, stretch the arms, the fingertips to the ground. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation, Tadasana. The front face receiving. And now hands on the hips, elbows back. And sitting back on an imaginary chair, squeezing the inner knees against each other. Stretch the arms up, Utkatasana. And then exhaling forward over the front thighs. Inhale, and exhale, straighten the legs completely. Looking up, preparing to step the left leg back for Parsvottanasana. Roots of the thighs firm, extending the arms, reaching with the hands, and then lowering the head and pacifying the face, and having the body in full alertness. As then the hands coming closer, and left leg forward, right leg back. Extend the arms vibrantly and push into the fingertips to help push the weight of the pose back. And then looking up, bringing the hands back and walking the right foot forward, feet together, knees bent, preparing to straighten the legs with the exhale. Inhale and exhale, holding onto the backs of the heels, pulling yourselves forward, drawing the knees and thighs up. Uttanasana. And then releasing, bending the knees deeply, squeezing the inner knees against each other, hands onto the hips. Extend the arms, Utkatasana. And then back up, Urdhva. Reach. And coming to Tadasana. Utthita Trikonasana. From Tadasana. Keep relaxing the jaw, the throat, being in a different place inside the body, extending our intelligence in a different way, turning the right foot open. And exhale, reaching. Finding Utthita Trikonasana. And inhaling up and turning to the other side. Prepare, inhale. And exhale, reaching first. And then Utthita Trikonasana. Keep receding in the front face, opening in the sternum plate. And then inhaling, back up. Turning the feet in. And turning the right foot open. Parshva Konasana. Making a square with the front leg. And now reaching, reaching. And bend fingertips to the floor on the inside and top arm to the sky. Turning the top arm and lowering the arm, extending it diagonally away. Parshvakonasana. And now bring this top arm back up. Inhale, and with an exhale, wind it around behind you. And then see if you can bring this bottom arm underneath the front thigh, joining hands, turning and twisting. And releasing, coming back up. Hands on the hips. Turning to the other side. extending the arms. Inhale. Exhale, making a square. And then reaching, absorbing the femur bone in. And hand down. Top arm up. Now turn this entire top arm and extend. And then bring the arm back up, and with an exhalation, wrap it around behind. This arm underneath. See what this side brings. Turning and twisting. And then releasing, and coming back up. Turning the feet in, and short edge of the mat. Hanging Uttanasana. Grip the knees and thighs up. Pull the elbow tips down. And now hands onto the mat, and walking back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Heels lifted. Coming forward, plank pose, Chaturanga. Squeeze the ribs with the elbows, push yourselves forward. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Don't push forward with the face here. Keep the face receding back. Adho Mukha Svanasana with the heels down. Push the shins back. Push the front thighs back. And then looking up, we're stepping the right leg forward to a nice wide lunge. And we're lifting the back heel right up. So you have to move the foot back in order to really lift the heel up. Preparing for Virabhadasana 1. Don't push the face forward, pull the arms up and back. And 2. And 1. Coming forward, stepping that leg back. Plank pose and Chaturanga. Forward, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Adho Mukha Svanasana, heels down. And now stepping the left leg forward, lifting the back heel, so moving the foot further away as needed to really lift the heel. And coming up, Virabhadasana 1. Don't let that back knee bend. Squeeze the inner back knee, stretch the arms, pull the arms back. And exhale the hands forward, left leg back, plank pose, Chaturanga. Forward, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Keep the front throat soft. And Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then looking up, stepping the right leg forward to a nice wide lunge. Move the foot to the middle of the mat. Rest the back knee to the mat and move the back knee backwards. Hands onto the inside edge. Come onto the outside edge of your front foot and place your right arm underneath, the forearm supporting you as the leg opens and surrendering with the exhalation. Extreme pigeon pose. Lengthen the breath, deepen the breath. And keep relaxing the face, relaxing the shoulders, neutralizing. And then back up. Step this leg back, plank pose, chaturanga. Forward, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Adho Mukha Svanasana. And left leg forward. Move the foot to the middle of the mat. Rest the back knee down. Hands on the inside. Move the back knee back, as far back as you can. Come onto the outside edge of the front foot. Left forearm underneath, supporting you. And exhale, surrender. Immediately observing the state of the breath, because that diffusion of the exhalation is so crucial. So inhale, exhale, travel with the breath to the nugget of the inside of the pose and diffuse that medicine. And then coming back up, stepping the left leg back, plank pose, chaturanga. Forward, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Always observing what your jaw is doing, that immediate tendency we have to push the chin up, soften the front throat again, roll the shoulders back, and lift the chest to the sky, the front face receding. And then exhaling back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And now stepping the right leg forward, we're coming to Parshvottanasana. So nice distance between the feet, don't get short on me on this pose. Straighten the legs. Extend the arms forward. And then moving the hands back, changing sides. Left leg forward, right leg back. Turning those hips, roots of the thighs firm. Parshvottanasana. And then looking up, walking the back leg in, feet together. Grip the thigh muscles up. Uttanasana. Let the neck hang completely. Don't reach for the legs with the front face. The front face is receiving, reaching for the legs with the abdomen, with the sternum plate. And now, fingertips to the mat, bending the knees, crouching pose, trying to press the heels down. And then the hands coming back and rolling to lie back on the mat. Stretch the arms up, cross the thumbs, arms behind, press the lower back firmly down, feet off the mat, inhale, and exhale, 90 degrees. And 60. And 30. And 60. Hold it here at 60. Widen the legs apart. Press the lower back down. And cross the feet. And 2. And 3. We're going to 8. And 4. And 5. And 6. And 7. And 8. Feet together. Back up to 90 again. Re-stretch the arms. And bending the knees. Feet to the mat, lift the arms back up, change the cross of the thumbs, and re-stretch back. Press the lower back to the mat, feet off the mat, inhale, and exhale to 90. And then 60. And then 30. And then 60. Then widen the feet apart, press the lower back to the mat, and we're crossing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Feet back together, back up to 90. And exhale, releasing. Feet to the mat, bring the arms back up, and extend the arms to the side. Deep inhalation, deep exhalation. Rolling back up, moving our hips back so that our legs can be straight for Dandasana. Look at the feet here. You want to push through the balls of the feet but pull the toes back. Active feet, hands back, chest open. Press the front thighs down. Now move the hands back, you know this is headed, Paripurnanavasana. Bring the feet in closer, lift the heels up. We're going to extend the legs 3 times with the exhale. I want active feet, they'll be right in front of you so you can see them. Inhale and exhale. Back in. Ready? Inhale and exhale. Back in. Third and last one. Inhale and exhale. And back in. Straighten the legs. Sit up tall, sit up straight. Arms in front, cross the thumbs. Lift up. Urdhva. Back down, change the cross of the thumbs. Lift up. And back down. Second and final round, we're doing the same thing, extending, but also trying to bring the arms into play. So bring the feet towards you, lift the heels up, engage the core. Inhale and exhale. Check the feet, arms. And then the hands coming back, bend the knees. And again, inhale and exhale. Arms. And hands back, bend the knees. Last one, inhale and exhale. Arms. And hands back, bend the knees, and coming back up. And now we're going to widen the feet apart and turn this way. Push through the balls of the feet, pull the toes back. Grip the legs for Yoga Mudrasana. As you come forward to your Yoga Mudrasana, don't let the pubic bone tilt forward. So you want to keep the pubic bone perpendicular. In fact, block here, very helpful for that, supporting the lower back. Lengthen the breath again, deepen the breath after that effort. Find again a fullness and an evenness to the breath. And then coming up, walking to the right, reaching for the outside edge of that foot and twisting to the right. So you're lengthening forward and twisting. Don't let the pubic bone drop. And coming up, twisting, turning to the left, reaching for that outer foot and twisting. And coming back up, Baddha Konasana. So of course, taking height as needed and purposely showing little equipment because it's kind of summertime, people are on vacation, they don't necessarily have all of their yoga stuff with them, and so just keeping it visually simple looking to get you to practice. But if you have your stuff, take everything you need. And let's come forward now to Yoga Mudrasana. And then coming back up. And Janushirasana. Left leg straight, right leg of Baddha Konasana. Reaching to the outside edge of that foot, and first the twisting action coming into play. And then reaching for the second part of the pose, coming forward. Keep pressing into the bent leg, the outside edge of that bent leg, to help you to both move forward and keep the twistingness. And then coming out, changing sides. Right leg extended, left knee bent. Finding the twisting action first. And now reaching for the foot, coming forward, Janushirasana. And coming back out. Both legs in front. Paschimottanasana. Remember that the front face is receding, so you're not trying to get the face to the shins. Like your Uttanasana, you want to bring the abdomen and then the sternum plate towards the legs, keeping the shoulders broad and the face neutral. And then emerging. And guess what's coming up? Shirshasana. So blanket, if you're using the wall, grab the wall. Everything you need for Shirshasana. Getting back on the mat. So we'll have some variations, which I'll explain verbally. If at any point you're getting tired, you're feeling cramped up, come down, rest, and then come back up, join in. On the third time of having gone down and come back up, it's a sign that it's enough. As you just rest, or since it's YouTube, you can fast forward me until the next section. All right, let's come in. Straightening the legs, lifting the shoulders, being sure that you're on the crown of the head. And coming into Shirshasana. Stabilize and find the breath by an even, smooth cycle. And check the state of the face. Is the tongue hard? Is the jaw hard? Are the eyeballs pushing forward? Preparing to turn and twist to the right, Parsva. Inhale, and with the exhale, turn and twist the waist, the legs moving to the right. Relift both of your shoulders. And back to the middle, Shirshasana. Preparing for the left. Inhale. And exhale, turning and twisting from the waist. And back to the middle, Shirshasana. Ekapada Shirshasana. Keep the left leg fixed where it is and slowly lowering the right leg. Have intelligent, active feet that express the intentions of the legs. And back to Shirshasana. changing sides, ekapara shirshasa. Keep lifting the shoulders up, drawing the lats in. And coming back up, shirshasa. Roll the thighs open away from each other, Uparishta Konasana and Shirshasa, preparing the legs first. The heels touching, the feet apart, the inner groin of each thigh roll into the outer groin, and then slowly split the leg energy in two. Begin to descend the legs out to the side, pulling the toes back and keeping the femurs integrated in the hip sockets. Feel the beautiful inside shape that this pose brings to the ribs, to the lungs. And with the inhale, fill that new shape. And now from here, we're going to bend the knees and come to Baddha Konasana. Press the feet against each other, relift the shoulders. And then extend the legs back up, Shirshasana. And bend the knees towards the chest, towards the face, coming out, keep the shoulders lifted. And coming down, feet to the mat, sitting back, Yoga Mudrasana. Bring the hands behind the back, interlock the fingers together, press the tips of the thumbs against each other, lift the arms up, roll those shoulders back. Bring the arms over to the right now. Check that you're not pushing the chin forward, hardening the face, hardening the throat. Arms back up to the middle and over to the left. And back up to the middle. Change the interlock of your fingers. Press the thumbs against each other, roll the front shoulders back, and arms over to the right. And back up to the middle, and over to the left. And back up. And releasing the arms down, rest completely. And then re-stretch the arms forward and find Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then Padahastasana. So much opening in the spine after Shirshasana. Grip the knees, grip the thighs. And come out. And down. Okay, let's move this out of the way and let's come to some Paryankasanas and Padmasana work. So strap and back to the mat. Alright, so we're coming in. Now remember, if full Padmasana is not yet available to you, you're doing half Padmasana and just working into it. There's no magic to it, it's just practice and repetition. So right leg coming in first, and if you're doing half, you're staying here. For those who are doing full or a variation of full, bring that left foot in, and then the strap, which is just lovely to contain the legs. For those of you in Ardha, in half Padmasana, make sure to include the bottom foot. Tightening up. We don't want the knees to widen, we want to teach them to come towards each other. Supta Padmasana or Supta Ardha Padmasana. Press the thighs down. This will be the initial first resistance. They'll want to lift up for you and tighten here. So press the thighs down. Let the abdominal cavity become long and broad. And these ribs here, put your hands on them and pull them up away from the abdomen. That's it. I want to get that space where they're lifting up. Okay, then lift the arms, cross the thumbs, and stretch the arms back. And keep those actions, the lengthening and broadening of the abdominal cavity, and the lifting up and broadening of the ribs. And then lifting the arms back up. So we've made some space here. Now let's come into the Paryangasana action of it. So onto the elbows, coiling, arching the head back. You can hold your thighs with your hands to pull the head closer to the buttocks. Be right on the crown of the head as much as possible. And then if you're able to, stretch the arms back and hold on to the outer arms by the elbows. With each exhale, try to press the shoulder blades up. And then re-stretch the arms back, and let's change the cross of the arms just a little bit longer. Keep trying to press the thighs down, to coil the upper back, to press the shoulder blades up. And then bring the arms back up, lying back down. And hugging the legs in towards us. Lifting ourselves up, wrapping our arms around. See if we can hold hands, otherwise we've got the strap to hold. And laying back down. And then rolling back up, freeing ourselves from the strap. freeing our legs and just straightening both of the legs, integrating the openings of the knees, and let's change sides. All right, left leg starting. And so if you're in Adha, you're putting the strap on now, including the bottom foot, or you can start to come into full Padmasana. I mean, this is the pose. Obviously, we feel our feet and our ankles so much in the beginning, but this is the ultimate pose to free this front groin and to free the abdominal cavity. So keep practicing, keep going for it. Even if right now you're needing bolsters underneath you, just keep moving into that space, releasing all of this coagulation, all the internal rivers of energy to be running free all around. And then lift the arms back up and stretch the arms back. Keep striding and reaching with the arms, because through the arms you're going to lengthen the abdominal cavity and lengthen the waist and broaden those ribs. But be sure that your face isn't tight, that the front face is receding, the front throat is soft, the brain is soft. Utilizing a different kind of non-cerebral intelligence. And then bring the arms back up, ready for our coiling of the upper back action. So we're coming up, the shoulders rolling back, reaching back, holding the thighs to pull the head in closer. And just firming up the neck and the upper back areas that become so weak. Now if you're able to release your hands, you're stretching them back and holding onto the upper arms by the elbows. Be with breath. Let the breath help you to sustain this. Keep pushing the shoulder blades up. And now changing the cross of the arms. And then the arms coming back up, lying back down, almost there. And let's bring the legs towards us and lifting ourselves up, seeing if we can reach. And coming back down, deep inhalation, deep exhalation. And then rolling up and moving the strap, releasing our legs. Just integrate. And fantastic. Right, now time for Sarvangasana Halasana cycle. So I'm going to be using 3 blankets in the strap. Go up to 5 blankets. You could take a chair if you didn't want to do one, basically using all of the modifications that are going to make it a beautiful Sarvangasana for you today. Let's get all that stuff and come back to the mat. The loop in your strap prepared, armpit to the armpit. If you go too small, it becomes brutal, harmful. Remember, ahimsa. But if you go too wide, then it's a little lazy, so you need to find that right loop that's really helping your shoulders and your arms to open at the stage that they are at right now. And then let's come on in. Having the loop ready. Rolling the legs over. And placing the loop just above the elbows. Interlock the fingers, stretch the arms straight, roll the shoulders back. And now place the hands on the back in preparation. And lifting up to Savandasa. A very common pose to put too much pressure in the skull and the face. So keep checking your throat, your face, relaxing and placing the pressure in the elbows, in the upper arms. And of course the legs charging up. The moment we forget about the legs and then we start to relax them and let them melt towards us, then all this pressure goes into us. We need to extend energy up to the sky too. Preparing for Ekapada Savandasa. Slowly lowering the right leg. And back up, Savandasa. Changing sides, Ekapada Savandasa. Left leg. And back up, Savandasa. Right leg into Padmasana. As best as you can. Left leg into Padmasana or cross legs, just doing what you can. And back up to Savandasa. Left leg into Padmasana. And if possible, the right leg coming in. And releasing back up to Savandasa. And now lowering the legs to the floor behind you. Feet coming to the mat. You can bend the knees here in order to get the strap off the arms. And then again, the hands behind you, interlock the fingers, tips of the thumbs touching, and roll onto your left shoulder so the right shoulder lifts up, and roll the right shoulder open and back. And then roll onto the right shoulder so the left shoulder lifts up, and roll the left shoulder open and back. Press the arms down.
Press the front thighs up, straighten the legs, Halasana. Keeping the fingers interlocked, turn the palms up to the sky and away from you. And then turn the hands back in, change the interlock of the fingers, and re-roll each shoulder back, moving the weight from one shoulder to the other. Stretch the arms, press the arms down. The arms are your feet, so to speak, not the head and neck. Push the front thighs up. Keep checking on the state of your front throat, of your face. If your shoulders are tight, they're going to start taking over and taking the tension there. So as you relax and as you learn to relax the front throat, the jaw, the face, you'll be able to go more deeply into those areas of the shoulders and upper back that are tight. And now invert the hands and turn the palms open away from you. And then turn the hands back in. And now change the interlock of the fingers again. And walk the feet to the right. Parshvanasana. As much to the right as possible. Re-roll the front shoulders back and press those elbows and arms down. Front thighs pressing up. And bring the feet, the legs back to Halasana. Change the interlock of the fingers. And now walking the feet to the left, Parshvanasana. And now walking the legs back behind you. Release the interlock of the fingers, put the hands on the back. Bend the knees towards the forehead. And then bring each inner knee to each outer ear. And then wrap the arms around behind the backs of the knees and hold onto the upper arms. Gardhanapidasa. And now changing the cross of the arms, resettling, Gardhanapidasa. And now releasing the cross of the arms, you can bring the hands back to the mat in order to help support you as you unroll. And as the feet come to the mat, just pushing ourselves back. And widen the feet, let the knees rest against each other and extend the arms. Check that the sides of the neck are even, that the face is receding. Deep inhalation. Deep exhalation. And now let's roll over to the side and push ourselves up. Alright, we're almost there. Let's just move these blankets away and we want to take one block and come back to the mat for a round of Siddha Bandha and Japara Padikalasana. Alright, we have our block, no strap, so we're going to be working with the Ardha Padmasana in our Siddha Bandha. So first, just lifting our hips and buttocks up, rolling the shoulders back, and coming onto the highest part of the block if possible, making sure that you're not moving the block to the lower back. You're really keeping it on the last vertebrae. So it's the crack between the buttocks. And now we're going to lift the right leg up, and you've got your hands to help you come to Ardha Padmasana. You can keep holding the foot. Trying to press the thigh down, but to press the tailbone up, and the block is there to help remind you to press the tailbone up. So you're not collapsing the hips, the buttocks on the block, you're pressing the tailbone up as you press the bent leg down. Shoulders rolling back, the chest is beautifully open, the rib cage is beautifully and effortlessly detaching from its abdominal congestion there. Now we're going to change sides, so releasing this leg, placing the foot, try to be sure that the feet are parallel, and then lift the left leg, and your right hand can help you. Place it and hold it. If you don't need to hold it, and you're able to, you can interlock the fingers behind the blocks. Either way, trying to press the bent Padmasana leg down as you're pressing the tailbone with the block up. The front shoulders rolling down, the shoulder blades pressing up. Check that your front throat is still soft. The front face receding. And then let's release that Padmasana leg, both feet down to the mat now. Turn the toes slightly in and the heels slightly out. And being here in Ardha Siddha Bandha, interlock the fingers behind the block now and roll each front shoulder back like you did in Savangasana, where you transfer the weight from one to the other to really get the opening. Now press the arms down. Make the arms firm. You're not just hanging out here. You're pressing the arms down in order to ignite the back ribs and the shoulder blades up. The face has nothing to do with it. The back of the head should not be pressing to help you. Smooth and even breath. And then releasing the interlock and lifting the hips up, moving the block. And as you come back down, make sure that each vertebrae connects with the earth. You're not skipping out on any of the lower back. And just resting here. Alright, and now I'm going to turn. We're going to utilise our arms on the long edge of the mat for our Jathara Pariprattanasana. So first bringing the block to the right hip and stretching your arms, holding the mat. Once you've placed the block, it should be really firm against the hip. Bring the feet off the mat, inhale, and exhale the legs over the block, the hip over the block to the right, the knees coming to the right elbow. And then from the belly button, turning and twisting to the left. Use the power of your arms to help you to turn and twist that middle and upper back that is so resistant. See if you can turn the neck to the head. And then bringing the legs back up, hands, feet to the floor, changing sides. So moving our block, so it's snuggling the left hip. The hands holding the mat, the arms firm, feet off the mat, inhale. And exhale, roll over the block, knees to the left elbow. Now find your belly button as the center point. Inhale. And exhale, turn the left navel to the right and follow that action. Try to feel the ribs of the back, the thoracic spine, the dorsal spine, the shoulder blades. And then bring the legs back up. And I'm just going to move. So not just seeing the top of my head. And the last Dvipara Supta Pavanuttasana. Just perfect, simple, holy alignment here. Lining the inner feet up, the inner knees up. The shoulders back. Resting in this rightness. Deep inhalation. Deep exhalation. One more. Deep inhalation. Deep exhalation. And releasing the feet to the floor. So it's now time for Shavasana. I'm just going to grab myself a little blanket for my neck and head. You can always take the extra blankets and put them on your front thighs. In fact, I'm going to do that. Or, of course, you can roll them and put them underneath your knees. And I'll take the strap for the eyes. Now, just for a second, before you close your eyes, just look. See how the blanket here is under my head, but not under my neck. I see this so often. You really want to have the blanket supporting the entire neck and skull, not the shoulders, but the entire neck and skull, so that there can be real restingness here. Roll the thighs open, roll the shoulders back, your arms will be out to the side, placing the strap extending the arms, making sure that your lower buttocks are moving towards the heels, that your sacrum is moving towards the heels, so that the lower back isn't overarching. And when everything feels just right, with an exhale, surrender completely to Shavasana. And then bringing the hands to rest on the abdomen, on the front thighs. And then rolling over to the right hand side of the body. Keeping the eyes closed as we push ourselves up. Of course, the strap will fall off the eyes, but just keep the eyelids gently closed. And taking a final seat. Folding the palms together in front of the center of the chest. Extending our love out to the universe. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. The hands releasing, the eyelids opening, the gaze diffusing. And welcome back from our journey. This practice is complete. Namaste. Thank you for joining me. See you soon.